What's the secret technique? I have my own thing. I'll tell you mine, but what is your secret technique in the middle of bombing that where you have a where do you pull them out? I can't imagine that you eat it on stage much anymore.
No, corporates are the only environment I bag it in. Corporates aren't. Yeah. So I've got a line at a corporate event, and I'm struggling badly, and I say, it's a very special day for me today because I started drinking heavy last year, and cut long story short, it's a year ago today since I had my last drink.
No.
And they applaud.
Yeah.
I say, that's not actually true. I just wanted to hear what it sounded like to get a round of applause in this room. Right? And what happens is they go, oh yeah, he's right, we haven't been very nice. And they up the game suddenly. But that doesn't turn it round. It momentarily gives me a kick. And another line I says, I've actually enjoyed this more than you have. They're going to say more than you know.
Yeah.
And then they laugh and they go, I've done good, it's been flat for like 10 minutes. I don't acknowledge it because if you acknowledge it straight away, then they get uncomfortable, right? And now I just go, I've actually enjoyed this more than you have. And they laugh, they go, oh, he knows he's rubbish.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a week of relax then. And then they bond with me over how bad I am.
Yeah.
And then we get back on track. But I'm not, there's no bulletproof way out of dying on stage.
No.
A death is a death.
Yeah.
But I have methods. I will do crowd work, of course. I will tell stories. And if you tell a story, because I'm doing short jokes, if I tell a story, it doesn't matter if it starts to know small laughs like the joke. If you go set up punchline, fail, they go, oh my, that joke failed. But if you go, I got mugged the other day, they go, oh, what happened? And you tell a story, you get your first punchline. It's not so much a fail. It's just, that interesting bit of information wasn't funny, but at least we're learning about what happened. There's drama. So then there's empathy drama. So what I would do, I would tell a story that then allows me to get some more laughs without the awkwardness of a punchline failure. Because then you go, and then he fell over. Nothing. Well, you can't pretend that wasn't the ending, can you? So I would tell a story, which is kind of cheating, but there's no such thing as cheating to survive the death.
No, I take some shit sometimes because I'll have somebody, people that are close to me in my circle that can give me heat will always go, because I'll do a joke and it'll bomb and I'll go, Jesus, that sucked. Okay, anyways, and it gets a laugh.
Right.
Because you're breaking the tension in the room. And they always go, well, you're cheating your way out of it. And I go, well, what else? You have to acknowledge it sometimes. It's like somebody dropping a tray of drinks on the other side of the bar. You have to say something.
The only cheating at death is doing something else in material or walking off.
Yeah.
No, there's no such thing. I said cheating. What I mean is I've tricked them into not laughing. So the laughs are gentle and not embarrassing when they're small.
Yeah.
Or not at all.
Yeah.
There's a drama of a story means they're interested.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just go sell that punchline, you go, you know what I like about cherries? What? They're not going, ooh, this is exciting. Mm-hmm. Here comes a joke about cherries. But you go, my dad died recently. I would tell you about the funeral. They're like, okay, this is interesting because this is truth.
Sure.
And that's my trick.
Somebody taught me this a long time ago, that right when you're about to mention something to the crowd that's not going well, or you're going to say something like, wow, you guys are a ball of energy even after whatever you're going to say, they said, do one more joke. Just go one more joke. Just when you can feel it in the room that there's nothing left, do one more joke. And you know that joke is going to bomb. Because now, instead of being at that cusp of, we don't know if this is going to go good or if it's going to go bad, you're going to do one more joke. And then you're going to solidify the fact that this is going bad. And when that happens, you're going to go, okay, take the mic away from your mouth, hit it on your hand twice. Because that sound in the microphone that goes, it breaks their concentration. If they were staring at you, but they weren't paying attention, they hear that. And then they go, huh? What's happening? And then you take your arms and you wave and you go, all right, erase, 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 erase. We're starting over. Here we go, guys. All right, let's do this. Let's come on. Bang, bang. You hit it twice. Okay, now they're staring at you. If you have a joke that is a B plus, do that joke. Move it up in the set. Get them back. Now,
Reset.
You reset the room. And every time, I've only had to do it maybe 10 times in my career.
This is in corporate. It's never happened in a club. I'm not saying I don't have tough gigs in clubs, but I don't die in clubs. I step 2 steps to the right. So I'm moving away from the bad energy around me. Now you might go, oh, that's all mystic stuff, but it feels good.
Sure.
I'm stepping away from the area. Now I did a line, I talked about virtue signaling, and I said, this is a corporate. And I said, I got chatting to a girl the other day. She had a t-shirt on that said, make love, not war. I tried hitting on it and you should have seen her fight she put up. And there was a woman scowling at me from that moment onwards. Now we know the best thing to do is leave that alone because you know, but she was scowling so hard for so long, I eventually just went, are you okay? Now that was a mistake because she wasn't heckling and the rest of the crowd could see her face, but it was so aggressive. And she said, yes, I didn't appreciate your rape joke. Now, hitting on or tried it on with could be verbal, and it's certainly not rape.
Yeah.
Tried it on with is like, hey, baby, what's your name? That it isn't verbal, it's verbal. And I broke down the joke and said, they're verbal. And I said, so let's have a round of applause as that ugly word leaves the room. I just thought to myself, you could have the best gig of the world, and someone could put their hand up and say, I didn't like the rape joke. And now everyone's thinking about rape joke, whether they agree or not.
Yeah.
Even if they all really strongly agree, that word's still hanging in the air. So my instinct, I don't know where it came from, I said, let's have a round of applause. So the point is, applause is a positive thing.
Yes.
So if they hear applause, it's NLP, right? They're hearing a good thing. If I went, let's just watch that word leave the room, then I'm asking to stare at the letters R-O-P-E. It's happening else. There's some iterated Sesame Street. Just that panic moment of going, she's in danger of ruining my gig. Because everyone has to go, oh, was it a rape joke? And now you're on trial suddenly. So yeah, but I love the tapping the mic thing. I might play around with a me version.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm quite, don't take myself seriously, I could do something maybe a bit more clowny with that principle. This is a plagiarism, by the way. This is a technique that's being offered.
Absolutely. Yeah. He gave it to me. I'm giving it to you.
That's not the same as that's not his joke.
No,
it's a technique offered to everyone.
Absolutely.
And I love the idea. I might deliberately have a bad gig just to test it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like telling somebody to pause before a punchline. It's like, it's a technique. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I on the pause.
I had somebody tell me once that they invented the 3 guys walk into a bar joke.
That's ridiculous. How old? How old are they?
She was probably about 62, and I was like, I thought, okay, first off, that joke has been around since you were probably before your parents were born. 3 guys. How insane is it that you think you came up with 3 guys walking to a bar? You mean to tell me that hundreds of thousands of jokes that follow 3 guys, you came up with that in just like some small town in Wisconsin? What an insane concept to think. And believed every word of it.
Who wrote the first knock joke?
That's a good question. Who would it be?
It had to be the first one.
Yeah, the first one. I mean, it's got to be somebody who worked in wood, obviously.
There's a brilliant comedian called Paul F. Taylor who does a bit about when someone does knock joke. It might have been the first knock joke or the first time you heard one. They go knock, and you don't know who's there, and he did this whole elaborate thing. You have to say who's there. Paul. In the 80s, it was all Irish jokes. They were the next door neighbor country, so they were the stupid ones, right?
Yeah.
Every country else.
Oh yeah, Polish jokes. Yeah. Finland.
And we've grown out of them now. We've moved on. But there was one was I can't believe I'm doing this, but do you want to hear the Irish knock joke? Please, you start.
Okay.
But it's now we don't. I have not heard an 3 Irish because it was always an Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman.
Yeah.
And the Englishman says something sensible, the Scotch said, and then the Irishman said the stupid thing. Drew all the 3, right?
Yeah.
So imagine someone said, someone had to do the first. Yeah. Englishman, Irishman, Scotsman. Is this strange? Someone was the
Somebody was the first to come up with it, and since then it has just been. And they do it with so many different versions of it. It's a rabbi, a priest, and a horse. It's a blonde, a brunette, and a redhead. It's obviously the rule of 3, but somebody had to come up with that. It'd be interesting to find out like the first actual written version of that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we don't even know who wrote the jokes we tell, as in the street jokes.
Yeah.
We call them pub jokes. Comedian John Fothergill from Newcastle, brilliant joke writer, as in he says great jokes on stage. He was in a pub in Newcastle, full of just blokes in, t-shirts and football tops, whatever. And this rabbi walked in, and this bloke at the bar, not John, went, sorry, mate, you're in the wrong joke.
Yeah, that's great.
They're wonderful.